it ended up in our finance department, and they were screening our agencies against National Watch List and government terrorist lists. And then we also had to do a certification process where we had to make sure each agency that we were giving funding to was not giving funding to a terrorist organization. Don, can we go to the next page? This is how we use the Patriot form. One is to verify that agencies are not using those funds inappropriately for terrorist activities. When we first started, we have a survey that has 7 questions on it, and we used to email it out to the agencies, and we would only get about 50% of those forms back. Some say they never received them. Some said we just lost the document. So it was a constant back and forth trying to secure this information. Once we signed up with EC Impact, we were able to embed that in the application in the agency section. So in order to submit their application, they have to complete the Patriot Act form. And it's just the 7 questions with the drop-down menu saying, I comply with this, I comply with that. And so it's been much more efficient in helping us to do our due diligence to certify the agencies and to make sure that we are in compliance with the standards from United Way Worldwide. Don, can we go to the next one? The benefits, a lot of the same benefits that Stan mentioned in terms of efficiencies, particularly in terms of the paper trail that we had to try and keep up with. Each year we were trying to file all of these documents. If our auditors wanted to see them, we had to go and produce those documents. So there was just a lot of time that we were able to save by not having to, one, call the agencies and ask where the information is, wait for the information to arrive, file the documents. So now we have a paperless system that we can keep up with. And also, because the agencies were not submitting the documentation, there was a disruption in their allocation. This made our finance department unhappy because they had to stop the allocation, start the allocation back. So this way, because they have to submit the certification for the Patriot Act form when they submit their application, we no longer have that problem. It's very efficient. It's streamlined. We can verify the agencies before as part of the allocations process. And even if our board members or the auditors want to make sure that we have this information, they can come in, they can look at it online, as a matter of fact, and we don't have to pull out the boxes of old forms or the current forms to make sure that we are in compliance and that we have done our due diligence, so we can show our donors in a very reasonable way how we're keeping track of all of this information. But the agencies are just glad that we're not constantly calling them asking for it when they think they've submitted it and they think it's on file and we still don't have it. So those are the key benefits, and it has really helped to improve our relationship with the agencies because we're not constantly asking for this information. And it also makes our donors feel good to know that we're doing our due diligence to collect this, given what happened here in the Metroplex with another nonprofit organization. Don, I think that's my last slide.
Okay, thank you very much, Marilyn. Now let's see, I don't know if anybody sent you a question directly, but if anybody would like to ask a question to Marilyn, specifically about the Patriot Act and how they handle that, please raise your hand. I see here we have a question from Damien at the United Way of King County, and let's see here. I don't believe, Damien, that you're logged into the, let's see here. Give me just 1 second. Sometimes I'm not able to tell exactly. Here we go. Try to ask your question now, Damien. I think I have you unmuted.
Can you hear me okay?
I can. Thank you. Please feel free to ask your question to Marilyn.
Thanks for posting that. So I'm not familiar with the specifics of the Patriot Act. I'm wondering, you said there were 7 questions that are asked?
Yes.
Is that a standard?
No, I cannot. What do you mean by Patriot?
Damien, we took the document that we received from United Way Worldwide and we modified it to the 7 key questions.
I have a webinar and I can watch now and
present. One of the questions
disasters at the United Way and how you respond to the public.
Is this
Okay, go ahead, Marilyn. I'm sorry.
Okay. This organization is not on a federal terrorism watch list, including the list in the Executive Order 1325 13224, a master list of specifically designated national and terrorist lists, so they can click comply. This organization does not, will not, has not knowingly provided financial, technical, in-kind, or material support to terrorist organizations. This organization does not, will not knowingly provide collected funds or material support to terrorist organizations. So those are the types of questions. It's based upon what we received from United Way Worldwide, but we modified it so that it would be very 7 concise questions that they could comply to. And I can email that if you'd like to see what that looks like.
Hey, Damien, I'm sorry, I had to mute you again there. We were getting some feedback from some other areas. Let's see here. Would you like to, let me unmute you again. Okay, would you like to further elaborate on that, Damien?
If I could see the questions, I'd love to.
Okay. Don, will you make that possible for me to get that to Damien?
Sure. Absolutely. Sure, I'll get you guys in contact with each other.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and also Tammy Brown from Tacoma is saying that she would like to see that as well, Marilyn. And she's also asked a question there. I think you can see it in your...
Yes. Just wanted to say that we use this format so far good. Oh, it was a great...
and that's from Christina.
Christina,
in Cleveland. That's saying that they use the same format in Cleveland, and so far so good. So they're actually happy with that as well. And Tammy was asking, how do you verify the agency is not using funds to support terrorist activities?
Well, basically, it is a good faith effort. Once they comply, say that they are in compliance, we take that. If anything comes up after that, we have a document stating that they had said, no, we do not use this, and then we can take further actions because they provided us with false information.
Okay, and we have another question here from Christina in Cleveland. Christina, you should be able to ask your question now.
Oh, I think I just pressed the wrong button. I just wanted to say that we used, I believe it was the actual format that they use in Texas. Is it Fort Worth?
Yes, Fort Worth.
Yeah, that you all used down there, and that was during our process this past October. Our finance department seemed to love it. So once I got that go-ahead, we used it and really didn't have any problems. I think some people were actually astonished that it was as simple as it was.
And that was the same thing with our agencies. They couldn't believe how easy it would be compared to having to try and get it back via email or in the mail.
That's great. Does anybody else have a question or a comment? Please just click that little raised hand icon, and I'd be happy to. Okay, I want to make sure I got everybody's questions in. Sounds like we did. Thank you very much, Marilyn.
Oh, thank you,
We really
Don.
appreciate you taking that time. And oh, wait a second. We've got one more question.
Okay.
Tammy Brown in Tacoma is asking, how do you get the signature?
In our application, it says that once you hit the submit button, that means that we have a legal signature for you. So that's understood. Even with our fund application, that once you do it electronically and submit, it's the same as having your signature on the document.
I see. So you probably have the legalese on the page itself saying, by typing in your name below, this constitutes blah, blah, something of that
that's
sort?
what's on the application. So that includes everything, including the Patriot Act, as well as all the information that they're sharing with us.
Okay, very good. Okay, well, we'll have some time for some more questions, so all of you please think about it. And, oh, wait just a second, we have another one here.
Something else, a comment.
Let's see here.